Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Page Fights. Thanks so much for joining us for our official second episode in our 3-episode series. Last time you saw us run through a lot of landing pages very, very quickly. I think we got to about 33 last show. That was hard to fit into a 30-minute block. We went over a little bit, but we're going to try our best to sort of stay on time this time around. We've got 5 landing pages for you, the ones that made the top 5 out of the 10 from last time, the ones that you guys voted because you wanted to see them back. So we have those landing page creators queued up. We've got our judges queued up. Just to give you sort of a recap of what we're gonna do today is we're gonna dig into each of those pages a little bit more, find out the goals behind them, how they're performing, and the people behind them and the stories behind them. And also, of course, Ollie and Pep will be reviewing them and helping them with some suggestions and some direct feedback on how they can improve those pages. So just as a reminder, voting will open only at the end of the show. There's no point in voting now. It's not going to count. At the end of the show, I'll let you know when you can start voting, and that'll be open for an hour following. And what will happen is basically you'll be voting for the top 3 of your votes will make it to next week's show, and that's actually the show too where we will we'll be crowning the landing page champion who will win a free one-on-one consultation with Pep from ConversionXL, early entry and free entry into the ConversionXL conversion course, which is worth about $1,000. And we've also got 1 year of Unbounce free Pro 99 account, which is worth $1,200. So pretty awesome first prize. Again, voting will start at the end of the show, and I'll cue that up for you guys and let you know that cast my vote button is useless right now. If you're watching this on Google Plus, or you've just stumbled upon this broadcast somehow, I really do recommend that you watch it at pagefights.com/episode 2. There's a lot going on that page. There's the Twitter stream, there's the voting, there's the registration for updates on our upcoming episodes and upcoming series for that matter. So you really will want to watch the show from there, pagefights.com/episode 2. And yeah, like I mentioned, the Twitter stream, definitely make sure you pay attention or take part and participate using the hashtag PageFights on both Twitter and on Google+. Stephanie Grieser, our events coordinator, is standing by there, participating, and she'll be answering any of your questions, and she's also going to queue us up for who should win the audience participation prize at the end of this episode, which we will do at the end of every episode. So yeah, definitely make sure to participate there, and you can win early entry into the conversion course. And yeah, that should be about it. So I'm just going to get to introing our judges again. Pep Laja, the man behind ConversionXL. Say hello, Pep.
Hello, good to be back.
And we've also got Ollie Gardner, the co-founder and CRO expert at Unbounce. Welcome back, Ollie.
Welcome back, everybody. And thanks to our 5 page creators for being here live so we can talk with them. It's great.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So we're going to just dig right into it right now. So I'm going to introduce our first of the 5 contestants. It's Paul Jarvis, who created the page Write and Sell Your Damn Book. So yeah, Paul, I understand that you're not only a best-selling author, but you're also a web designer, and so far you've never paid for traffic to drive traffic to this landing page. Can you explain to us quickly just the goal of the landing page and how you're currently driving traffic there?
Sure. So the goal of the landing page is to get people to write books. So the way that I'm driving traffic right now is through my existing mailing list, through my company, as well as social media and news aggregator sites like Hacker News, that kind of stuff. What else? Yeah, Hacker News, Sidebar, Layer Vault, that sort of thing.
Okay, awesome. I also see that you're getting about 807 unique visitors per week, and that the current conversion rate is about 24%. We want to try to give you some ideas and some ways that you'll be able to improve that. So, Ollie, we'll start with you. Why don't you tell us how you think this page can be improved? I know you were a big fan of this one in the last episode, so I'm curious to hear what you're going to say here.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about copy too much because that's what I love. But your goal is to get people to sign up for the course, yet if you, on the screen right now, the bottom left is all about buying the book, right, which is a little bit of a distraction from your goal. I understand that you probably want to make money by getting the version on Amazon, but I would think, given this is an email course, because we have an e-course and the same thing happened. People will say, I want to do it all now. I don't want to wait for the next one. But I would suggest either in the first or the second email, that's when I want to say, hey, you can get it all at once if you want, and this is how you do it, right? Instead of confusing things here.
Yeah, and I actually do that anyways. That's mentioned in the first or second email, as well as in reminder email. So yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, and I like the cleanliness of the design, but I would put more emphasis on the form. It's really just kind of blends into everything. Encapsulate that in something, so it is really clear it's the most important thing on the page. You also, down the bottom, you say, it's by this, who is this? It's by this guy. And you go to your bio page, like you do it at the top as well. You should repeat your form and the book image, repeat that on the page. So if someone goes to read about you, then the form to start the course is right there as well, so they don't have to come back again.
Cool, yeah, that makes sense.
Just, if we go down again, Tommy, the last part, there's some, I've read some research that if you put some strange or surprising words in somewhere, it can trigger different things in your brain. What would be cool here on this bottom set of 4 bullets, highlight a couple of words, actually both of them, right? If you highlight snark, zombies, drinking, risotto, if people catch them with their eyes, it's like, what the fuck's going on here? Okay, I'm going to pay attention. This is kind of weird and quirky, so yeah, that might have an impact.
And Pep?
Yeah, I agree pretty much with everything that Ollie said. I think the way the form looks is the weakest part of the page, because the choice of the green, it's a very timid color. So definitely you want to draw more attention to the form, because as I said the last time, your sponsor logos are dominating over the form itself.
That I don't have control over.
Alrighty. Well,
Yeah.
you have control over making the form pop, Also, multiple columns in two-column forms typically don't tend to do as well as the single-column forms. Your call to action go could be more specific. And also, I would really want to see a test on that main headline there, because it's whimsical, it's funny, but it takes a while to get to the point. Main thing you learn right away is that you get a kick in the ass. However, it could be like maybe start off with a bit of finish that damn book or something. Also, in terms of relevancy, I would think it would be helpful if you would be more specific as to what kind of book are we talking about. My memoir, PHP for newbies, is it a non-fiction? Does it matter? Am I doing it for fame and glory, for money? What's it all about?
Okay.
Actually, you see on that thing on the left again for buying the Kindle version, it says #1 bestseller in business humor. If you do want to keep this here, you could potentially link that part there, because if you do a specific search URL for business humor without the U, because it's an American site, and then the word damn, you come at the top, so it verifies what you're saying as #1, and that's a lot of good proof going on there. You take somebody there, and you are #1, people are going to start believing that, if you want to keep this element there.
And that link about your bio, like instead you could just add a small blurb about yourself on the sidebar. Of course, if you put your handsome face there, it might be distracting, but it's worth a task, because at the very least you want to track how many outgoing clicks that link gets, because you don't want people just bugger off.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, good. So that was perfectly timed, guys. Way to go. So we've got our second page is from Ryan Walsh from Mind Over Pain. So thanks, Josh. And we'll queue up Ryan now, who's, like I said, the owner of the landing page for mindoverpain.org. Ryan, we heard that your company was built out of a real-life experience you had yourself. Can you tell us a little quickly just about that to give us some background on the page?
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Gia. I had wrist pain and back pain. I was basically crippled, and all I was doing was just working my job and then coming home and trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And health professionals, they tend to tell you that you're weak and you're fragile and you need to buy lots of special equipment and do special exercises. And none of it was working for me. And I found out that through the latest research that I could actually cure my wrist pain, my back pain, and other symptoms just with my brain. And so I'm passionate about this now, and I want to share that with everybody.
Cool. So I understand that one of your biggest challenges with the information that you gave us, the little bit of background, one of the biggest challenges that you have is making sure that this page comes across as like authentic and as authentic as it really is. And so pages like this can be sort of tough to design because of that.
Yeah, it sounds over the top and too good to be true.
Right, exactly. Okay, so Pep, why don't you start with this one and see if you can take the first stab at it?
Mm-hmm. Well, how you described your story was way more compelling copy than what you have on the page.
Okay.
Because you start off with a great headline because it's a specific promise. 7 days, it's gone. But then you go into buzzwords. You guarantee something, but how can you guarantee it? It's a free course. I'm starting to go bullshit here.
Okay.
And you don't answer the question, how are you doing it? How will it work? Because you keep it a secret. Of course, once people scroll down further, there's more information. But this, we know that most people don't read, and these ugly, cheesy stock photos have to go because they really hurt your credibility.
Okay.
And I think you're also confusing depth, length with depth, because you have a bunch of stuff here that I think honestly don't have any value. Like, is it right for me? That part there, these cheesy stock photos, I would take those off. And also your sub-headlines, they're asking questions, but we know that people don't read, they scan. So what you want is that every subheading will deliver a piece of information. So instead of why enroll, you tell them in a headline why they should enroll. And I think you leave yourself as the last part, but that's basically your pitch, that this happened to me and I can teach you the same thing. So shorten it, eliminate a bunch of stuff, make it more authentic in terms of copy, your voice.
Yeah.
And you're going to be better off. Also, the guarantee part, if it's a free course, that's kind of weird. And last tip, if it's a free offer, shorter landing pages tend to do better, because otherwise it seems you're trying too hard.
Okay. Yeah, originally I was going to be charging, and then I decided I might as well start with free and see how that goes. So yeah, that makes sense.
Ollie, have anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with especially removing some of the stuff. The what people are saying and the part right below that with the bad stock photography, I would suggest just taking those two sections, just remove them entirely, because what you have at the bottom, as Pep's saying, that's the gold, right? That's your authentic story, and if you look at the photo of you, you don't look like a douchebag.
Yeah.
You look uncomfortable there, which adds credibility because you're not. It's not polished, and so this is the kind of stuff that people are going to believe in.
Okay.
If we go back to the top though. Now I've seen the ad. Maybe not go there right now, but the message match between the ad headline and your page headline is perfect, right? So people know the right place. That's really good. But your CTA, sign up for free now, you're implying friction, right? You're saying that this is a click-through page, there's no form here, but you're implying that as soon as I click this, I'm going to see a form, right? So that's like, can you go back again, Tommy?
So would you recommend something simpler like cure my wrist pain now, or I want happy wrists?
Yeah, I would say something like...
I want happy wrist seems really lame to me, but...
I would say reduce my wrist pain now,
okay.
Right? I wouldn't say, you've said cure already. Cure is a really hard thing to believe.
But I mean, Ollie just throwing random ideas is not really helpful, because the best way to go is that you have your pool of targeted people, maybe people who already sign up, and you conduct qualitative survey and you pay attention to the language that they actually use to describe their problem. Or what were you looking for? I wanted to reduce my wrist pain now. Then yes, that's what you should use. So we want to. It's called trigger words. People are using a certain language in their head, and once they see it on your page, there's a connection. So qualitative research.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, and the hello bar you have at the top, they can be really effective, but yours is there immediately, so it looks like part of the page design. They need to come in after a delay so you see it happen.
Okay.
And to be honest, until you start learning oh, improving this page and learning about what's working, what isn't working, I wouldn't have that in there. It's an extra distraction. Again, it's saying sign up for free. It's like, it's a little bit too much right now.
Okay.
And also, only 19 signups remain. I mean, maybe it's true, but seems bullshit to me. Like manipulation.
Yeah, I mean, if you are doing a course where you have personal interaction with someone, I could believe that, but you have to say that up front. Like, this is a course where I will be working with you. Because of that, I can only take this many people per month.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I believe that.
Okay.
But as it stands out, yeah, I agree with Pat.
And as a test, you definitely want to put your form fields right there on the page. Avoid the extra step. Might help, might not.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, and often about the video, it's 1:45 before it actually gets to the fact that this is a course. It's just explaining the pain and all, pardon the pun, all of this stuff all the way through, which is great, but it takes a long time before you understand why I'm watching the video. And most people...
For me, the cartoonish thing, you know, is not really doing it in terms of authenticity. I think it will be a talking head approach would be much more effective, where it's like, hey, you know, I had this problem and now I solved it, and you know.
Yeah, because it looks like it's an explainer video. It looks like it's for a tech company like Unbounce or something, right? That would make sense there, but here I think it should be, you know, like Pep says, a bit more personalized talking head.
Makes sense.
People want to hear from what you have to say, I would imagine.
Yeah, I've done one of those videos too, so I'll do some testing with that.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. Okay. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
So we're going to move on to the page number 3, which is Chalkfly, and this page is the landing page for Facebook ads campaigns, and we have Josh Frank, the e-commerce lead, on the show with us. Who's the person behind this landing page. I understand you have a really clear understanding of, you know, dedicated landing pages and why they're so important to use, which is absolutely awesome. You have a specific audience that you're targeting with this campaign. Can you tell us a little bit about who they are and why you're targeting them?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just finishing up my 6th week at Chalkfly, actually. So on the 2nd week, I asked the sales team which clients and customers understand our story the best. They said other startups. So I wanted to create a campaign, a Facebook newsfeed campaign, directed, really targeted towards other startup founders and startup employees, bring them to a landing page that spoke directly to them, and collect leads for our sales team so they could get more of our favorite customers, their favorite customers, and grow our business.
Okay, awesome. So how is this page performing for you right now?
So we are getting a 21% conversion rate to leads, and as of yesterday, we're converting 20% of those leads to customers that have made their first purchase with us.
So is it profitable acquisition for you?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our cost per acquisition as it stands right now is about $90, but the lifetime value of these customers is nearly $1,000, so doing quite well.
Cool. So Ollie, let's hear your comments on the page first.
Yeah, so let's start with the ad, Tommy. Facebook ad, so we can get some context. Making life hard for you there, Tommy. Okay, so a couple of things to note here, and this is anyone running Facebook ads, these big ones. The big ones are often worse than the little ones. The structure here, they're designed basically to be total bullshit. It's a really, really shitty system. Your main headline here beneath the image is claim your 15 bucks. It doesn't say anything else. And still buying from Staples Stop, that's hidden at the top. So I would suggest when you have a big image like this for a Facebook ad, put your statement, put the typography inside the photo, right? Then you have full control over how powerful it is and how easy it is to read. Here, it's really hard to get your message across. Okay? But you do have good design match from this to the page, so you know there's a nice correlation there, but I would definitely put a message inside the image. So if we can go back to the page. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we all know, we keep talking about it, people scan, right? They quickly look for things on your page that are going to catch their attention. So I'm going to read down this. Actually, Tom, if you can go to the top and then kind of scroll down as I speak. So this is what a scanner would read. Still buying from Staples. Stop. Now I'm thinking about stopping. Send me my 15 bucks. Forbes. fast and free shipping. Hi, I'm Sonali. 365-day returns. We get startups. We're startup. Break room, eco-friendly, energy. Claim your $15. If you wrote all of what I just said down and read it back to yourself, you would be so confused. It didn't make any sense. Okay, this is what I call congruent design. Everything on the page should align towards your single goal. If you read it like that in a linear fashion and it doesn't make sense, you'll figure out which steps should be taken away or they should be rewritten so they reinforce exactly what you're saying, so your message continues all the way down. That didn't make any sense. There was no story there. It didn't communicate a single thing to me. So I would think about how your page reads. Like, read it out loud. Read while you walk around the room while reading out loud. The walking is to distract you. People here are distracted. And reading it out loud, when you read it out loud, it will be very obvious very quickly if something isn't aligned with your goal. So I would kind of start there to restructure this.
Cool. Yeah, that's really great advice. Thanks.
Pep, anything to add?
Yeah, I would add a couple of things. You said your target audience is startups. So unless I'm scrolling down and watching for that one sentence that you have somewhere there, actually you don't mention anything about who this is for. You know, we get startups because we are the startup. That's your only sentence. But, you know, if you have scroll depth tracking on here, you will see that most people will not see the sentence. So let's scroll back up. And so what we have above the fold should be enough. So here, you're just, you know, your headline still buying from Staples makes me understand which category in. But the way that the rest of your, you know, story of how you try to build up more motivation can use some work. Because, like, what is Chalkfly? You know, you don't say it specifically who this is for. And your three main arguments why to buy from you, the shipping, the returns, and 5% teachers. I don't know if this 5% teachers things, have you actually done any research whether it makes a difference? In my experience, trying to see if donating to a charity or whatever good cause, it makes no difference whatsoever. So actually you might do that, but you're wasting space. Another thing I would say, claim your $15 Chalkfly cash. That's the terminology that you just invented. I don't know how many people are going, you know, walking around, hey, I wish I would get some Chalkfly cash today. People want real cash maybe. So actually, what is it? It's $15 off your first order, is it?
Yeah, it's $15 in store credit.
Yeah, about clarity is one of the, you know, it's the most important principle of conversion, clarity. Get $15 off your first order. Way better already. So I would really work on the copy above the fold to make it clear why you, who's it for, and a clearer offer.
Do you guys have a tagline of any kind?
Supply and delight is the tagline.
Okay. Because like Pep's saying, there's nothing about you really at the top. You know, if there was a tagline attached to the logo, it may help, although that's still a little vague.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that too is I was trying to, how could we get across that we sell office supplies without using the term office supplies a bunch, because it's just so boring. Now I guess what I'm hearing now is maybe clarity is just clarity overrules in that sense. And I think also, I think I made an incorrect assumption in the fact that because I was targeting startups on Facebook, that it was a given that, you know, that these people, you know, they knew they were a startup and that's why they were getting the ad, which obviously doesn't, you know, that's a complete disconnect. So I like the advice to make sure I'm reinforcing that you're landing on this page and we're speaking to you because you are a startup.
And, you know, you say you don't want to use office supplies. Well, what are your top 5 products? Maybe show me some use cases instead of 24/7 customer service, which I expect anyway. Show me your main use cases. What are startups buying from you? Most startups buy from us.
Right. It's probably too far to the bottom, but I used, you know, qualitative research to say went through orders, emailed customers to see what they actually are purchasing, which were where the 4 categories are at the bottom. But
right. But those categories, they're also kind of vague, right? Like energy, eco-friendly. I mean, be specific about the kind of product it is, and then you can just add that we only sell eco-friendly kind of this category, you know.
Yeah, and put a
clarity.
headline in there.
Guys, we got to move on.
Okay, could
Sorry.
just put a headline in there introducing the fact that these are products rather than features.
Right on.
Right. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, Josh.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so our fourth page comes to us from Vertilab, who created the page, the Non-Programmer's Guide to Launching a Startup. We have their marketing manager, Mike Sifton, here with us today. Just a little story behind Vertilab is they build web applications from prototype to complete solution. So one of their goals is to increase brand awareness in the community of startup founders. Is that right, Mike?
Yes, that's absolutely right.
Okay, cool. So far, can you tell us a little bit about how this page is performing for you?
The tests are going quite well. We didn't roll out complete advertising campaign yet, but we are running a test campaigns on Facebook, and we are quite happy with what we have.
Okay, cool. And I understand the conversion rate's about 15.5 right now. Looking to get some recommendations on how to improve that?
Kind of. It fluctuates from day to day, but about so.
Okay, cool. Pep, you want to start us off with this one?
Sure. You know, it made it to the final, so mostly it looks good. So let's talk about some of the things that could be better. You show a picture of a book and you say free book. Is it a book or is it an ebook? Is it a PDF file? Because that leads to disappointment if it is. So
this is a mistake I've noticed today, and it's already fixed.
All right, perfect. Making progress already. All right, other few things. Who are you to give this advice? Meaning that, you know, every dude out there is a startup guru these days. So what makes you special? So inject some authority here. Make me increase credibility. Say something about Vertilab that we have helped. I don't know actually what's the story, but let's say that we have helped, you know, 150 startups become real businesses. Blah blah blah. Whatever. So establish credibility. And my last point would be about copy. Both of your subheadings, thinking about launching your startup, download this free guide, don't add any value in by themselves. So you expect me to read what follows here. So it will be better if you would state those subheadings as benefit statements. You know, instead of saying download this free guide and learn, it would say learn XYZ. Your social proof buttons there, the social media buttons there, I would remove them because, right, Twitter, 2 tweets, so nobody wants this crap, you know, it's negative social proof. And typically if you have a form, you don't want social media here, you want people to download the guide. And that's last comment would be about the form itself. Center align, you know, never a good idea. And inline labels, again, I would recommend you test top align labels, align left. Yeah, and maybe make the call to action more specific.
Cool. Ollie, you want to?
Yeah, on the form there, I like something I'm starting to do now is designing your page. When it has a form on it, design the form as if it's the only thing on the page. Like, as if the form can't stand alone, you're doing it wrong. And so start with the form and go from there. So in this case, I would just switch things up. That you've got copy, copy, form. I would take the second part of copy, download this free guide and learn. That becomes the top of your form. It's download this free guide and learn, without thinking about changing the copy right now. So it tells him what this form area is about. It's downloading this free guide. Put the bullets in there as well, maybe just 3 of them. It's a little bit long. And then your form down. It's like the whole form tells you the story. Like everything is written there with the form. It tells you all you need to know, hopefully. So,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, any recommendations for social proof to add to this? And also, I think it'd be cool if we saw the ad.
Social proof. Oh, I was just going to say, I agree with Pat. Get rid of those social share buttons. Nobody gives a shit at this point. Put them on the confirmation page after someone's downloaded it. Then say, hey, if you, I mean, that you haven't read it yet, but that's the time to ask them for something else. Ask them for a favor, not beforehand, because nobody gives a shit there.
Cool.
This is a great ad.
Tommy, you had it a second ago. This is not it? That's it.
Yeah.
So there's a mismatch here between the page copy and landing page copy.
Yeah. The imagery is great, but the copy is not.
Right. And so message match is off a little bit. Can you guys sort of, you know, talk about what message match would work, like what messaging would work better for this?
Yeah. The last thing I read here probably is launching a tech startup. first of all, is that a question or a statement? It's kind of weird. What I'd want to see, though, is the last thing I read there matched exactly with the headline of the page. So, because I clicked on that because I gave a shit about what you were saying. Now you're saying something different to me.
So ad seems to be about how to do it without spending too much money, and your landing page is just how to do it at all. So it's a different focus.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's so simple. It's a great page. I would focus on the form and tightening up that, the correlation between the ad and the page. The form, for sure.
So we got to move on. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Thank you.
So we've got our last of our 5, which is from Stuart Harrison, a search engine marketer with Hampson Hughes Solicitors, who's been with them for 2 years. The really cool thing about this landing page, I gotta say that it's your first one you've ever built ever, which is pretty great that you've made it to the top 5. And also, yeah, you've got about a 1% conversion rate, so there's a lot of room to improve on this one. So let's see if Ollie will start us off and see if he can help you out.
Yeah, must be pretty late in Liverpool there.
Oh yeah, it is.
I would say, the first time we saw this last time, I was saying that I liked the fact that you start with a question because it's segmented immediately, is it right for me or not. However, now that I've seen the ad, you want to show the ad, Tommy? Right. So these ads already ask a question. So when and now I'm self-identifying. If this is right for me, if I answer yes to this question, I will go to your page. I don't want you to ask me the question again. Right? It's like you forgot. It's something I call conversation momentum. If you start a conversation with a question or something, like in an email or something where you're having a conversation that you're doing here, you have to maintain that conversation. But this page it's almost like forgetting that I just asked you that, So answer that question in some way. So it was like, have you suffered injury during pregnancy or labor in the last 3 years? You go to the page. You're not alone. 3,000 other people every day in Denver experience this, whatever, right? But you're making that connection. So I'd start there so that your ad page makes some sense. This testimonial, I don't trust that at all. It totally smells like bullshit. There's no photo. There's just a random name. I don't know. I don't trust it at all. And then down here, there's a lot of copy. I'm jumping around all over the place here. I would just simplify that. I don't know. Maybe Pep has some ideas.
Okay, yeah. Pep, why don't you chime in?
Ollie said a lot of good things already. Let's scroll up here. So the way we humans read, right? We headline and then we start scanning down. Right now, what I feel is that since the form is pretty powerful on the page, which is a good thing, it kind of suffocates the very important, actually the most important thing on the page, which is the sub-headline. We will provide you with emotional financial support. So I would kill this "we are here for you," which means nothing. Enter your details. Well, duh. So get rid of the "we are here for you," and you'll have more people reading your what the offer actually is. And of course, this is so vague that needs to be, you need to improve clarity on it. What is this emotional financial support? Is it that you can sue for me and get $1 million from the doctor? Is that, I understand there are legal limits what you can say and whatnot, but this is too vague, and vagueness does not resonate with people. I have a specific problem. I don't have a vague problem. The testimonial, I agree. Also, it's aligned center, which is a big no-no. Anonymous, there's no real name. And the rest of your copy, multiple columns, typically a bad idea. And the font size is so small, I need a loop to read it. So you should not, if you actually want people to read it, you should have 14, 16 pixels or bigger. And if you look at the subheadings, how we can help. I'm not going to read it. Just tell me how you can help. We can get you money. Or during birth, common issues include. I mean, this is what is this encyclopedia? So tell me, like, we can help with if you experience these issues, So don't give me a lecture. And it's pretty significantly long, so I would say that duplicate your form below as well. And if you actually want people to call you, call us is not going to get people to pick up a phone. You need to make a specific call to action. Call to talk to a compassionate birth injury advisor, or something.
Yeah, along the same lines, it says in the form, contact us, but the purpose here is for you to contact me to help me out. So it should say, contact me. And go back to Pep's comment about...
Actually says callback now. So
yeah, that's kind of that's fairly common, request a callback, but it's very clinical. And this needs a bit more emotional connection there, so I wouldn't try to be that clinical. But what Pet's been saying before about having the inline labels for your form fields, it's so bad. It looks great, but as soon as you go into one and you start typing...
Oh yeah, your error validation jumps the gun here.
But can you start typing in one, Tommy? Okay, so you've lost the label. And it seems simple, like how can you forget what it's for? But sometimes you click and you go, oh, which one was this again? This is email and name, especially when there's more than two. So then you just have to start clicking out.
Email and label forms work great if you only have a single form field. If it's more than two, you should not really go with that. And also, what is the actual offer here? Contact us is a crappy offer. It's not attractive, right? Contact us to discuss how much money we can get you, because that's what it's ultimately about, right? It's about financial compensation. You don't want to hold my hand.
All right, cool. Okay, so that's the we're gonna finish off there. Thanks so much for everybody who came on today and participated. So before I open up the voting and recap who the 5 landing pages are so that everybody can get started voting, I'm going to announce the audience participation prize. So I'm going to jump over to Steph, and she's going to let me know who's won it. I'm just waiting on her to cue that up for me. And also, Tommy, in the meantime, you can pull up those 5 pages. 1 second. Steph, you want to let me know who's going to win the prize? And by the way, just to sort of recap, that prize is for free entry into the ConversionXL conversion course. Still don't have Stephanie telling me who it is. That's right. Okay, because she's on a delay. Okay, so let's go over the 5 landing pages then. We've got the first one. Do we have this up? Yes. So the finalist number 1 is Paul Jarvis, Write and Sell Your Damn Book. The second page is Ryan Walsh's mindoverpain.org. We've also got the third page is from Josh Frank from Chalkfly. And our number 4 is Mike Sifton with Vertilab. And Stuart Harrison's one we just saw from Hampson Hughes Solicitors is our 5th landing page. Voting is now open and will remain open for the next hour, and then we'll close it off. And I have the winner, by the way, of the audience participation prize, Anna Nerezova. Sorry if I'm totally butchering your name. Your Twitter handle is BLV. Anyways, if that's you, you've won yourself the conversion course, and Steph is going to hit you up on Twitter to let you know how you can claim that. So now we're done. We're going to get our top 3 from your votes that you're placing right now. We're going to check in on the progress these 3 pages have made. We're going to make some, have some A/B testing ideas, and also there'll be a live vote during next show for who the landing page champion is going to be. So it's actually going to all happen in the next episode. And also we're going to announce our award the referral prize. Which is our second prize, which, by the way, if you scroll down the page a little bit, what that second prize is laid out there. But how you enter in that is to actually register for Page Fights notifications. So there's like an email field there with the inline enter your email address field, but there's only one field, so it's okay. So you can just fill that out, and in the confirmation box that shows up there, there's going to be some referral links you can do by email, Twitter, and Facebook, I believe. So we'll announce that one as well next week. And that's all I have. Page Fights is done, episode number 2. So thanks a lot to Ollie and Pep and to all 5 of you for coming on today, and we'll see you again next week.
See you guys.
See you guys.